Hello boys, Andrew J. Forster here, and all 5 of you watching this must be wondering, A, who the fuck is Alyssa Mercante, and B, why the fuck should I care?
A, she was a hooah. B, she was a hooah.
Alyssa is an attention-seeking BPD mental case with a triple-figure body count who spent many deserved years wallowing in obscurity until she decided to write an article running defense for a controversial Canadian consultation company called Sweet Baby Inc. Who are Sweet Baby Incorporated? Well, long story short, they are a bunch of talentless minorities that corporations with an excess of white guilt hire to inject California politics into video games. But Sweet Baby Inc. are only a small part of Alyssa's story. Upon writing that embarrassing fluff piece, she attracted the attention of every video game artist on the internet, and especially an Italian-American menace known as Jeff Tarzan Tarzia, or as he goes by on YouTube, Smash JT. When I say that Smash JT was obsessed with laughing at and exposing Alyssa Mercante, that isn't a hyperbolic statement or exaggeration for effect. Smash made dozens of videos and hundreds of tweets about Alyssa, especially reveling in the humor of Alyssa's former profession as a sex worker, a profession she claimed to have never partaken in, and she so strongly rejected these claims that she was a whore for hire that she decided to file a lawsuit for defamation of character. Of all the reasons to get angry at Smash JT and sue him, this was most certainly strange, as Alyssa has made many public statements about her history as a woman who gets fucked for money. Filing this retarded lawsuit against Smash JT and hiring a tranny lawyer was one thing, but sending a cease and desist letter to Kiwi Farms and threatening them with legal action unless they removed her thread was a level of retardation that was unquantifiable and put her in the sights of some of the most dedicated trolls on the planet. She was immediately doxxed. Pictures of her house were released and her boyfriend met the same fate. But instead of realizing how idiotic it was to poke the bear, she proceeded to shove the stick up the bear's ass and continued melting down online. She released another horrendous article sucking off consultation companies and forced BlackRock and Vanguard DEI initiatives. She doubled and quadrupled down on making unhinged and stupid public statements.
Because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
In between messaging Smash JT's wife, cozying up to domestic terrorist David Rivera, and yelling about fights she was too scared to get into, it seems that Alyssa forgot to pay attention to her shitty job at Kotaku. She was eventually fired because they did not want a BPD whore bringing down the entire weight of internet trolls on their already dying website. She tried to pretend it was her that chose to part ways, but that was the usual Mercante cope kicking in. After her justified firing, she embarked on a journey of freelance failure by writing a bunch of shitty articles that nobody read, streaming on Twitch with an emaciated communist AIDS victim to an audience of 34 people, and hilariously tanking her already frivolous lawsuit on fat pervert David Jaffe's podcast.
What I did, because I did briefly do cam work, just like digitally stripping.
Just in case you were wondering, cam work is indeed sex work. And yes, she has essentially destroyed her lawsuit. But as funny as her going on fat pervert David Jaffe's shitty podcast and fucking her lawsuit like she fucks her Johns, the ultimate piece of comedy came in the form of Alyssa's freelance work failing so utterly and completely that she ended up opening a Patreon and started selling pictures of her ass and tits for money. And don't worry, I am not going to show those photos here. And not because of YouTube's terms of service, but because Alyssa is so horrifyingly ugly with her clothes on that one can only imagine what she would look like with them removed. And I would not want to put the 3 people that watch my videos through that kind of visual misery. But I hear you asking, Andrew, who on God's green earth would ever want to see Alyssa naked? Who would stoop so low? Tell me, Andrew, I need to know. Luckily, I know the only two guys on Earth who would willingly give this shit lib goblin money to see her with her clothes off. Dave, Rich, she's all yours, boys.